What's going on, everyone? We're going to do a little bit of a stock market recap. We're not going to go over a whole lot of names. What we are going to focus on is the S&P 500 as well as the NASDAQ 100. So a little bit of a choppy day. Okay, we had some initial selling pressure off the open. We kind of came down into those hour supports and some of those demand zones that we've been trading on. Now we are coming off of 3 days of kind of backward selling. So my watch list coming into today on individual names was to the short side. We got some of those names to confirm, some of those names never confirmed. They confirmed before pre-market and then they bounced. It just made for kind of a cluster of a day. But that's okay, right? The market has been ripping. It's been absolutely phenomenal. We've all been making a lot of money to the long side on these dips and these breakouts. But what I want to kind of focus on here is we do have a couple of clear lines in the sand. The S&P 500 for that next short position is going to have to be below 451.40s. However, okay, there's a big however. We do have a rising daily support sitting at around 450.69. So we do not have a lot of room, meaning that if we do decide to take this short position when and if it confirms this week, look for this rising daily 10-day moving average to act as very, very firm support. The last time we tested the 10-day moving average was back on July the 11th. We came down, we wicked below, and then we had another, the next day gapped up. So if you look at the high from that day, it was 443. We gapped up into 445 and then actually pushed into 447. So if we do come back into this zone here, look for it to break down intraday below it, okay, and then look for the reclaim. If we can break down below this 10-day moving average and then reclaim it on a close, then I would be looking for the long side for the continuation of that dead cat bounce. Now for the long side, if we don't get down there and kind of test that level, we've got to respect the supply zone of 455.07. We've tested it multiple times here, going back to the 18th, going back to the 20th, as well as today. So if you kind of see this whole channel here, if we could start to get above this channel of around 455.5, maybe we can push up to this recent wick here at around 456.43. Now we do have upper Bollinger Band supply zone at 458. Our firm support, if we do close below the 10-day moving average, I would be looking for a short position from around 450 down to the 448 area. That's the top channel. That's our original breakout going back to June the 15th. You can see we tested it once, came all the way back down to the 20-day moving average, tested it twice, came all the way back down to the moving average, and finally when we broke out, we put in that high of 456. So this original breakout here over the LR channel here, this is barely going to be our first back test. We haven't even back tested this. So I talk a lot and I teach a lot about these potential setups for these breaks and retest. Okay, so if we do come back into the zone of around 448, 447, 449, I would be potentially looking for some strong support there to potentially play a dead cat bounce off that on the following day. So again, just kind of keep that in mind. Let's look at the triple Qs here. Triple Qs are on 4 days of consecutive red days here. So what I want to kind of focus on here is we did have a short position below 375. I know Andre in Discord took this short position today, made a hell of a trade off this very, very early. Fantastic trade. If you guys want to see that trade, go in the Discord of mine and then you guys can see that. But also we did hold, right? So I want you guys to really focus on why we held this 374. Go back in time, okay? Go back in time to pre-gap up. If you go back to the date of July the 12th, look at that top wick and look at where we stood today. It's matching up to a T. This is technical analysis. We do have a little bit more room to kind of come down to 372, which is going to correlate with this rising 20-day moving average here. And again, the same kind of deal here. That original breakout on the triple Qs, that we had, or the most recent breakout, was this lengthy consolidation, almost a month-long consolidation here. If you look at it from around June 16th to around July the 12th, almost a month-long consolidation underneath this level here of around 373, 374. And then finally, once we broke out, we ran all the way to 387, and now we're finally starting to come back down. I would expect maybe a couple more days of choppiness action. If we can get the price action to kind of drop down here into 370, 371, look to hold this area again. Perfect spot for a bounce down here around 370 to 371. Classic break and retest. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did and you want to learn more, you guys want to learn how to day trade the strategy of mine at Evolution Traders, make sure you guys join the Discord or become a lifetime member to get that one-on-one coaching, as well as community and chat and watch list and all this other stuff, right? I'll see you guys on the inside.